Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and it's art night. I'm so glad everybody's joining me on this beautiful Saturday evening. I know I'm super excited. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday, and we are excited to have you here joining us tonight. I'm super excited about tonight. But let's start by saying hello to our wonderful viewers. Hello to everybody there on Rumble. So nice to have you guys showing up. I see so many of you guys are in the stream. Thank you all for being here tonight. Hello to everybody on X. Thank you so much for being here and sharing out the stream over there. Thank you so much. And hello to everybody on Pilled. I see you guys have got the memes going. We got some new people over there as well. That's awesome. Maybe Chris, welcome over there on Pilled. And hello to all of our new viewers on YouTube as well. Nice to have you guys joining us. We are streaming on all 4 channels tonight. So everybody do me a favor and let's do homework. Hit those buttons, hit those likes, hit those follows, and hit those shares. It's super important. And please help support the show. We do 5 shows a week here. I need the support. So whether you're subscribing to the show, Cash App, Pills, Rants, and more, load them up. We need them all. And I'm super grateful for each and every one of those. But most of all, I am so grateful that every single one of you are joining me tonight because we are in for a great treat tonight. Our guest is Robert, we quote DADA, Lloyd Jackson. He is an artist with bold abstraction creations, continue to captivate audiences with energy, emotion, and imagination. A lifelong Indianapolis native and a graduate of the prestigious Herron School of Art, Robert has spent decades developing a distinctive artistic voice that blends the precision of graphic design with limitless possibilities of abstract expression. His vibrant paintings challenge viewers to look beyond the surface and discover their own meaning with every brushstroke. As he is returning on this beautiful visit tonight, Robert's artistic journey has evolved, but continues to inspire his creative process and why abstract art remains one of the most powerful forms of personal expression. Whether you're an artist, an art lover, or simply curious about the creative mind, this conversation promises inspiration, insight, and deeper appreciation for the beauty of seeing the world through a different lens. Everybody do me a favor and please welcome my dear friend, Robert Jackson, aka DADA. Hello, hello.
Hello.
I'm so excited to have you here. It is awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
I just spent the last 5 minutes. I had something in my pocket.
I'm sorry?
I had something
Robert,
in my pocket.
Robert, I can't hear you, honey.
Okay. Let me do this.
Try better.
Okay, is that better?
Yes. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, better. Yep, tell us again.
I've spent the last 5 minutes. I found something in my pocket. And it was a receipt from. I washed it. It was a receipt from Lowe's. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
Were you buying returned paint?
Probably. I mean, I'm at Lowe's like at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I find stuff. If something's broken or something's mismatched or something is missing, I always ask for a discount. Well, I don't ask for a discount. I say, hey, how much would how much can I buy that for? And a lot of times they'll either say it's free or they'll put a cost to it. And it's like half price or even more.
I love it. If you guys don't know about Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever, there's an area where people return stuff. And it's awesome. Huh?
I just said hi, Salty.
Okay.
Go ahead.
They return paints that maybe they don't like or whatever. You get them at such a cheap price. And then you can use this paint to use it for your own stuff, whether you're gessoing your canvas or you're using it to actually paint. Both you, me, Bob, all use this kind of amazing acrylic and latex paint. It is so awesome. So just FYI, artists out there, if you don't know, now you do. Go ahead. Are you there? Okay. So, Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself for all the people that might not know. I know you, and you guys, if you don't know me, abstract is one of my absolute favorite things in the world to paint. But we're gonna let Robert tell us about his journey.
Well, I started when I was young, probably about third grade. Entered a little art contest at school and won first place for a bird that I painted. Of course, then the bird probably wouldn't look like a real bird, but I won the contest for it. And then in high school, I did a lot of work on my own, a lot of portrait paintings, and I wish I had those. I don't. They were lost in a flood, basically. The basement flooded, and I had a lot of my work that I stored down there, and it got destroyed. But I did a lot of oils at that time, and everybody talks about how long they take to dry. They do. They take forever. But I did that, and then I was away from art in college. I didn't take any art classes or anything. I went to Ball State and thought I was going to be a lawyer, but that didn't pan out. So then I entered Herron School of Art in 1980 and went through that program and graduated with a BA in graphic design. But I was always torn to the other side. You had like a section of where you would have your graphic design building, and then you had your fine arts. Mm-hmm. And the fine arts, a lot of times I would, be over there during my lunchtime and just looking at what they would do. And they had their own little booths set up for their paintings and what have you. And I just was always torn that. And we did a lot of art history. And one of the artists that grabbed me the most was Jackson Pollock. Mm-hmm. And Jackson Pollock, just, I don't know what it was, but
freedom.
I wanted to not be like him, but I wanted to do art like that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't do anything from the time I graduated. I got a job with the state of Indiana designing forms. And I did that for like about 6 years or so. And then moved out west of Indianapolis and was out there for about 18 years and unfortunately divorced. But at that time, as I was going through that transition, that's when I picked up painting. And I did my first abstract at that time. Next door was a woman and her husband. He had passed away, but she was still there. And he taught at DePaul University, art, pottery, basically. And that's what they were. They were well known for their pottery, Peeler's pottery. And so one day I took my painting over there and I asked her, what her opinion would be. And she looked at it, and the first thing she said was, "It's Jackson Pollock, huh?" I said, "Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it?" She goes, "Yeah." I mean, she wasn't really moved by it as much, but right. Then I came back to Indianapolis, and then in 2004, that's when I branched off and just started doing a lot of abstracts.
Nice. It's really interesting that one of the things you said is, when I was going through art school too, they really wanted me to go to law school. So I didn't know if they really go after artists, maybe that creative, critical thinking mind that can look beyond or whatever. But I don't know. They approached me on that too. And I was like, yeah, no, we'll stay with this. I could have been a lawyer too. But I thought that was funny that you said that. But let's talk about abstract. And Jackson Pollock, as soon as you said, I don't know what it was about him. And one of the things when I think of Jackson Pollock is freedom. Freedom to just move, fling, play, create, all from your brain. And this is what I love so much about abstract art, because everything comes from the brain. There's no projectors, there's no drawing it out, there's no any of that first. It's literally just whatever you are thinking or dreaming of inside your creative, beautiful mind. That's what comes out on the page. And it could be slinging paint, it could be doing planet, whatever. But there's a sense of freedom with that creativity, because you're like, it makes sense to me. Maybe it doesn't make sense to other people, but I don't know how much credit abstract art gets either, because it's not, photo perfect. It's a whole different level of art. And I always encourage artists that if you're ever going to start art, start with abstract. get that freedom, get that paint, just start sloshing, spreading, moving, playing. Number one, you learn the medium. And number two, you learn how to let go, you know? And so I have a huge love for abstract. It's probably one of my favorite things in the world to paint. And I think that's one of the things I admire the most about you. And I can see so many different things inside your work, but I love your work. Anyway,
thank you.
Tell me what you think about that.
Well, abstract to me is a form, like you said, of expression, but also creativity. I think it's something that it's not just there to, you know, like you're not copying. I guess that's what I want to say. You're not copying what you see. What you're doing is allowing your brain to open up to what possibilities there are on the canvas or a piece of wood or whatever it might be. All edges are not borders. They succumb to whatever you do. That's why I like abstract. And to me, abstract is just a great expression of freedom, especially when the paint is thrown. You have no control over where the paint's going to go. You have a direction, but you don't have, by the time it hits that canvas or whatever you're putting it on, it creates. So basically, I think that I'm just a vessel or a tool to whatever the paint's going to do. And that's kind of how I view it.
Right. And I love it too. I mean, even when I'm working with tape like this one right here, as I'm pulling the tape off, it's pulling off some of the lines. Things are jagged. When you fling it, you got the most beautiful, you like stars. You can do it that way with a toothbrush or a paintbrush. I mean, there's so much, you know, and was one thing I just admired also about Pollock is like he would stand and his canvases were as big as a room and they're the floor. And he'd just stand there and he'd be like, move, boom, boom. He's pour, spray. And it was like unbelievable. It was like watching a dance. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I do the same. It's the same kind of process in a way. And any tool that you can manipulate the paint with, I use. I know that he would do that also. But a lot of times he would just, take a bucket and just dump it. And then he might hang it, he might, however he would position the canvas. But yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I know it was just so much fun. And, and not everything has to be abstract. I mean, we're going to show some of yours that are semi that way. And some things come into fruition, as we're creating too. So not everything is always about dripping, but it's a great way. In fact, I promise one of these days when I have the time and get inspired and get the canvas back up, I saw somebody that was using all kinds of different things. You got me. I got drywall scrapers. I use those a lot. But they were using cars. They were using fly swatters. They were using all kinds of different things to create textures, to create different patterns. And it was a great, even if your back of your canvas, your back of your image is abstract, have fun and let loose, because not everything has to be a solid thing. In fact, I always recommend don't ever make your background solid. I mean, you can, there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times, even if it's a subtle abstract in the background, it helps to really bring in your pieces a lot more. I mean, I get if you're doing a landscape, it's got to be a landscape. I understand that. But if you're doing something of a picture of flowers or whatever, you can do a really subtle abstract background and really make those things pop. That's just my opinion. But, that's one of the things I love about our group. Is we're very diverse and everybody has extreme talents in everything that they do. So we love it.
I find it kind of, for me, I get antsy. I want the result as quick as possible. So the dry time to me is I got to move on to the next one, but every once in a while, I don't mind taking time to, maybe one day I'll do a portrait. Maybe one day I'll do a landscape, but, and put the time in to do that. But with the abstracts, to me, it's essential to get done as quick as possible and then move on.
Right. Fun. Well, I have done some different, you can see I've done some portraitures, but they all still have a sense of abstract to them. But all right, guys, we're going to load this up. Please go give him a follow. You can find him on Truth and on X. Please give him a follow. And like I said, this is going to be my running theme every art show. Please, please, please share, you guys. Everyone share each other out, because I don't care how many people you may have or may not have, but the more that we share each other out, the more people that are going to see that work. That includes me. Please, I share everybody out. Please share me out. Vice versa, sharing and caring. Go give them a follow, and let's make social media as beautiful as we can with all of our artwork. And yes, sharing is caring. All right, I'm sure you guys gave him a follow. If not, please go do so. You'll find him on Truth and find him on X. All right, Donna, this is our first one. You get to tell us about this piece. Robert, can you hear me? Hello? Did you freeze? Uh-oh. Dada, did you freeze? I think he got him frozen. Hopefully he can fix that. Yep. He'll be back. He'll be back. So in the meantime, that's right. Sharing is caring, everybody. Drop your sharings and caring. That's right. We're all trying to get our artwork seen out there, everybody. Right? You never know. Even if you don't like our artwork, please still share it, because there might be somebody out there that is perfect for our pieces. So sharing is caring. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, I know it's beautiful. Frosty's already starting with his favorite. Hopefully, Robert will be right back, and we will. That will just load up what you guys are saying about this. Isn't it nice? Absolutely amazing. And see, this is a great example of what I was talking about. You know, we know that this is a beautiful vase of flowers, but look at that background. Look at how that background is very abstract, giving it a whole different meaning. And this is a mixed media. He's starting to dabble into pastels. So I believe the background is pastels with the top being acrylic, but I will make sure that he comes back to confirm that as soon as he can. Hopefully we can get him back on the show. All right. Right? Isn't that awesome? I'm going to just check Truth. Like, hopefully I'm not getting a message. Come on, dude. Oh, okay. No, I'm not getting a message, but I will keep that up for right now. Uh-oh. Man, my thing is freezing too. Holy cow. Okay, what is going on here? Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. All right. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
I don't know what in the world happened, but we are going to.
Well, I had my UBS and it overheated.
Well, you spread it over here. Yes.
I
I'm
took it
like, oh
off.
my goodness. I don't know what happened. My
Did
whole
you hear
computer
me?
just. Yeah. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me. Can you hear me, Dada? You can't hear me. I don't know if he can hear me. Do you guys see people? Oh, I don't think he can hear me. Hold on, guys.
Oh, come on. What is going on?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on. The crazies are coming out today with this stream. It's unbelievable. You can translate. Thank you, Frosty. I don't know. So I had to reboot the whole system. It literally just shut down and froze on me. I don't know what's going on. I see everybody. We're doing okay over here too. Thank you so much. JJ just shared the show too. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully can come back, but I know you guys all started to geek out on this picture. It was awesome. Sign language frost. You guys are frozen too. Maybe it's a rumble thing. I don't know, but it literally just took down that whole computer. I have not had this problem in a long time. Thank you, Try, for reposting the video tonight as well. Oh, and this is terrible because he is just absolutely phenomenal. Don't we love this piece? And you guys got to stare at it for a little bit. Let's get him back in and see if he can hear me now. Amazing. Oh, this will go on. If it doesn't, you guys, we'll reschedule this for tomorrow. Dada, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me now. Okay, fantastic. Okay. Okay, because I'm like, if and then he's going in and out. I guess as long as you can hear me.
I'm going to try something different.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I'm too far away from my router.
I don't know.
Well, I hooked up the USB port on my phone, and I got a warning that it was too hot. So it shut me down until the phone would cool down. So let's see what happens here. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. All right. I'll just do it here because I'm closer to my router.
Okay, good. Okay. Awesome. All right.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's a crazy night, everyone. I'm like, if this continues to go bad, don't worry, because I will make sure that we will get you fully on, because I don't want to miss a single piece of your work and your story. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Can you see the artwork that's up?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to tell us about it, maybe?
Okay. This was one of my first landscapes that I did, pastel, and I really wasn't going for anything. And at that time, I wanted to be a little bit different in how to create some of the buildings. So I just blocked them out and just kind of did a wash over them, and then used the heavy colors, the dark colors, to have a contrast with the purples. And then to simulate the building itself, like they would be windows, I took a piece of grate, just a plastic PVS grate, like one you use for your overhead lights. And I just broke a piece off and created the little different lines there. Just wetted the back of it and then applied it to the, and this is all on pastel paper, Strathmore's pastel paper.
Right.
And then I, yeah, and then I used acrylics, especially in the water areas and the moon.
Right. Isn't it amazing? And this is kind of what we're talking about with, you know, as our running theme tonight is abstract, because this is a version of abstract, you know, with certain lines, you can totally fill in the picture. I think that's what I love so much about abstract is you can look at it and go, I totally see the buildings. I totally see the water, but it's not fully defined, right? It's not photorealism. And this is just amazing. And this is something new that I've seen you venture in with pastels, you know, in the last, I don't know, half a year or so. And I'm seeing how much you're loving them.
Yeah, I don't particularly care for the mess with it, but I get over it after I'm done. But it's like there's so much that you can do with, and they're dry pastels. They're not what Salty uses. And I tried to use a couple of those, and I'm not sure if it's the paper that just doesn't take it well with those. And they're little sticks. They're probably, I don't know if you can see that, but they're not very big. Maybe about 3 inches. Okay. And they do leave kind of a waxy residue, but I like the dry pastels.
I didn't even know what wet pastels are. I just had to look that up. I'm like, so wet pastels include applying water or a solvent to the pigments. Okay. I'm just looking it up. I had no idea because I thought too, pastels, whether they're oil, which are more like a crayon, or chalk pastels, which are literally like pieces of chalks. So I didn't even know what the wet was.
Yeah, you can get a lot of, layering by taking those pastels and put them in water. I've even applied actual paint to the, I've chopped up the pigment of the pastel, threw it in paint, and then it just strengthens the pastel more than anything, but it gives a different look also.
Interesting. Well, we learn something new every single day, everyone, don't we? That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And, you know, I know about inks and, I know about it, but pastels is something, well, oil pastels I know a lot about, but the other soft pastels I do not. And I'm learning more and more from you guys. And look at how beautiful this piece turned out. Absolutely phenomenal.
With the dry pastels, you don't get, with the dry pastels, you don't get that vibrant look how Salty does hers. I love her stuff because it is so vibrant. And I wish you would get that with the soft pastels, but you really can't. And the only thing I can think you could do would just overspray it, which would bring out some of the highlights, but that, that's kind of like a protective. Yeah, and I've got a couple cans of sprays. I got a matte and then I've got a gloss. So, yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'm just totally confused because I thought she was just using straight up soft pastels either. But, that's a whole new world for me. I thought that's exactly how she got her vibrance, but she's coming back on the show soon. So we'll bug her about that more. Because, I didn't know there was even such a thing as wet pastels. So we are learning something every day, guys. This is why I love to have you guys come on, because we get so many wonderful art tips from each one of you artists. It's absolutely fantastic. So tell us about this piece, my friend.
That was, I wanted to do kind of like a horizon of buildings, but I didn't want to be, I didn't want to do what I did from that last that you saw. I wanted to be a little bit different. And I also wanted the light source to come in more dramatic. Right. So I made the, let's see how I did that. I made the grass and everything, that area. I just kind of took the pastel and then I would move it up the page and then draw a hard line, and then move it up the page and draw a hard line. And then I would blend it in, and that's how it looks like it's grass. And the water actually is pastel and acrylics.
Absolutely amazing. I was just looking at that water, and just like that, it's just so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Nicely done.
I like to create angles, and I like to juxtapose one thing from the other. Just kind of almost I don't know, facial, basically.
That's right. I just love it. I absolutely love it. This is so much fun. So much fun. Go ahead.
There's a cross. There's a cross in that building. Do you see it?
And I'm looking. Is that right in the center, in between the two spires?
I think. Yes.
Do
you see it?
And yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That was a Bob Ross happy little accident. I didn't even know it until I pulled away from it, and I was looking at it and went, "Man, it looks like a cross." Yeah. So it was not intentional, but I'm glad it's there.
Nice. Absolutely nice. And I do too. I love those happy little accidents. Sometimes I get a little worried about them, but then, I had a really good professor saying sometimes when you do something by accident, it draws people's attention to the piece more. And I'm like, okay, we'll just go with the happy little accidents. And it's just absolutely fantastic. Right?
Nancy commented on it when I first put that out. Nancy commented on it, and I asked her, I said, do you see a cross? And then she texts back and she says, I don't see anything. I said, look closer. And she goes, oh, I do see it.
Right. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. Man, I love that you use mixed media all the time too. This is probably one of my favorites of yours as well, because there's just so much going on in this piece, right? I love how you've framed it in with all these different colors, right? And it's just really amazing. Tell us about this fantastic piece.
Well, I named this one Floral Palette. And at the time I had those great things that, I sometimes use. And I would take a chalk and I would go inside there and just kind of draw it out. And then I drew the lines. So as I was working, and there on the sides and then across over the top, those colors. And as I was doing, I thought that kind of looks like a palette. So then I started with the flowers. And at first I was struggling. I had a hard time with the flowers, especially with the purple. But yeah, those are all acrylic. Everything else is chalk. And then the dark black lines are pen.
Very cool. Right? I love that too. Of watercolor. Wait, it looks like, a watercolor pastels. I was like, what is watercolor pastels? Sorry, Nancy, I totally read that wrong. Like, okay, watercolor or pastels. Yes. I mean, it's really beautiful. And I love it because, again, even though there is a frame per se, right, of a palette, it's not boxed in. Those flowers are coming out of the framed area per se. And I love that. They're reaching out, they're coming out of the, the background. And I think that is really awesome. A lot of times people want to box their stuff in, but here's, like you said earlier, here's the border. So everything must stay in it. And I had a professor's like, reach out of the borders. You can put a border, but make your piece go past the edges, make your piece, continue on. And I really think that is a great exercise, as we see here on this one.
Yeah, I did that specifically. I wanted to make it look like that they were popped out. So that's why I didn't want to contain them. The only thing I don't like about this piece is that the blue up above, I'm living with it, but everything else on it I like.
What would you change different versus the blue above? Anything?
If I did anything, I would just go ahead and hack the two top pieces off the sides, as you can see, the very corners, and just cut it down to that palette, basically,
Right.
and just let it be that way. But
Right.
yeah, this was all just experiment. I had no real plan. I didn't really know where I was going with this, and I thought, well, using the ink in there and what have you, I thought, well, I don't want to get too bold with it, but then again, I want to make sure the flowers stand out.
Yeah. You know, that's funny because each one of us would do something different. I might put leaves, you know, coming down, like, you know, maybe or something like that. Or yeah, like you said, and you can easily crop it, you know, anytime you want to, but I like the way it is as well too. It just is very unique border. And I love that. I love to do borders. Believe it or not, guys, I do love to do borders. And I taught my students all these unique kind of borders, but I love when you just break out and, you know, don't be encapsulated by that border or restricted or confined, you know. And this is a great example. I absolutely love this piece, my friend.
Thank you. I thought about leaves, but then again, I thought it might take away from the flowers. So that's the reason why I didn't do that.
Well, it was fantastic and fantastic. So not only does he do amazing things, you guys, he also does some amazing recycled material sculptures that just blow my mind, from houses to what we're looking at now. And he's just got this eye. I think that's what I love about you too, because you're like, how can I turn this into art? How can I turn this into art? And he asks us all the time over there on Truth and stuff. He's like, okay, I found, you know, mattress springs. What am I going to create with that now? Or I found, you know, CDs. What am I going to create with that now? And now we have this. I mean, it's just fantastic. So tell us about this piece.
I've been working on fencing over the spring and this summer, and I had a lot of pieces left over from the pickets. So basically, these are just pine pickets, and it's like I hoard as much as I can, and then I have to decide what to throw away. And for some reason, I can't throw away wood. I hoard a lot of it. Right. So I took those, and they're basically 5.5 inches wide, and then they're I cut them down to like maybe 4 or 5 inches, and then a couple of them I split in half diagonally. And the pieces that you see that represent the phasing of the moon, this is what this is called, phasing, and they're just plastic lids to various products that, you know, I've saved over the years. And the two of them I cut in half to give you that split look as the moon's phasing through. And they all are different. None are alike. And then I took paint, acrylic paint, and then kind of gave it a gray look.
Oh, he froze. And then froze again. I'm sorry. Oh,
you there?
I am now. Go ahead.
Okay. I took acrylic paint and then painted. I think I spray painted them all white, and then I took acrylic paint gray and made it look as if they were textures of the moon.
I love that. Phases of the moon, everybody. Isn't that awesome? I love it. Besides abstract, I love recycled materials, and I love recycled material sculptures. It's so great. I always, you know, I have amazing like little thrift shops and, you know, mom and pop thrift shops, and I walk in there all the time and like, oh, what is this or what is that? And my husband's like you too. You cannot. I don't care what size piece of wood it is. He's like, nope, it's not. You know, not going, because it might be something down in the future. And I just think this is great.
Yep.
Right.
You never know when you never know when you can use it.
Right. No, you don't. You never know. And it's just how awesome is that? This is what I mean. This is the abstract mind right here, guys. Abstract mind. I love when I take like, oh, you know, we always get boxes and things that are shipped. And I look at them and I'm like, oh, that looks like a lion's face, or that looks like an octopus, or that looks like, I've turned them into all kinds of animals in, you know, for my students and for, you know, when my kids were young. And that's just kind of, you know, that bottle, I would make dolls out of bottles, you know, and things like that. But that's the abstract mind. Just be like, and the artist eye is looking at something and seeing, oh, this can be this. And this is what you get, guys. Phases of the moon. Absolutely awesome. Love it. Love your mind, my friend. All right, this is a newer one, and I know it was made around the 250th because I recognize this piece.
Yeah, this was, I have a stuff that would come from Amazon. Of course, they put all that packing paper in there, and I just, again, I'm hoarding. And so what I'll do is I'll take it out and I'll fold it back to its original state that it should be and just store it. So I had quite a bit left, and I took those. And what I did is, you can see how the white and the red kind of looks like it's waving. I painted over a couple of them, and then the white. I think it's the. Did I do the white? I did. I think I did the red. And what I did was I purposely cut out it looking like it's waving, and then took those strips and painted them, and then glued them onto the other packing paper. I also did the field of stars the same way. I just did cut a square out and then glued it to that packing paper, and then went back over with the white and the red to give it kind of a worn look. And what happens is once that paper is hit with water or anything that's a liquid, of course it's going to wrinkle. And that it wasn't unexpected, but I didn't think it was going to really turn out as well as it did. And it was like, okay, cool, there's another process I can do. And the stars are stenciled out. I made a star, and then I stenciled each and every line. And for some reason, I couldn't figure out. I counted on an actual flag, there are 50 stars. On this one, there's only 49. And I'm like, where does it show that one of the rows are more than the next row? So I just left it out.
Right. And we just know it doesn't necessarily need to be there too. It's funny because, like you said, making stencils, when I just did my flag too, you can get sponges that come and they're pre-flattened. And when you add water, they puff up. So I traced out my star and I cut it out, and I put it underwater and it puffs up, and there was my stencil, guys. And I'm like, okay, here they are, so sometimes I've done them freehanded, and sometimes, when you're doing them in rows like this and you want them to be consistent, you make your stencils, and it's just turned out great.
I couldn't really find anything around the house that was stiff enough to make a stencil out of. So I had used one of my sketch pages and made it out of that, and then painted over it so it would stiffen up a little bit, and then be able to use it as a stencil.
Nice. Absolutely lovely. I think it's fantastic. You're reminding me about packing paper, and I hope you don't mind. We'll be back to this, guys, in just 1 minute, but I want to show you something. Because when I was in grad school, I would order a lot of Walmart. This is before I got sick and paralyzed. But one of the point of that though is, I don't want a coupon. This packing paper. Sometimes the packing paper, like he's saying, and it would come in like this. I made a snake for a class out of this amazing honeycomb packing paper. So you guys save this stuff. You can paint on it. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can make amazing forms. And this automatically had like a reptile look to me. And so, I was in a class and there's your recycled material, but I just wanted to show, your packing paper, everyone, can be unbelievable. It could be a surface. And like this is called exactly beyond the canvas. Not everything has to be on an actual canvas. So I just wanted to show you how cool some of this packing paper does, comes, whether it's brown or it's a honeycomb shape like that. Save it, be creative, and do something amazing, because next thing you know, you have an amazing looking flag. Right?
Yeah. The only downfall to the packing paper, if it gets too wet, of course, it will rip and tear, but that's still fixable. I mean, you can glue it once the paper dries. So
that's right. That's right. Anything could be a canvas. And we got a couple of people in our group here where it's like, we call it no surface is safe, because it could be wood, it could be glass, it could be a dresser, it could be packing paper, it could be whatever. Get that mind out of everything has to be on a canvas or everything has to be on a certain paper, and start being creative, and this is what happens. And it's just absolutely phenomenal. I love it. And not everything, this one on this one too, is not everything has to be a perfect square. And I have a few pieces too where you can tilt them, you can put them together and make a piece like in a composition by multiple different shapes. And so tell us about this wonderful piece.
Well, kind of like along the lines of the phasing piece that I did, I just took a couple of picket pieces, scraps. And again, you can see I cut one at a diagonal, and then I took a piece of, I think it was 2x4 maybe. That's what's in the middle. And I did all the art on, the splashing of the art, if you want to call it that. Did all that first, and I really didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I didn't really care for it that much, but I wanted to highlight the individual square pieces and the triangles. So I thought, well, maybe I got on my phone, I took a picture of it, and then I took that picture and I went ahead and I used the thing in your phone that you can manipulate pictures with, and I put those white borders on it, and I thought, well, that looks kind of cool. And then again, I thought, well, what I saw as the picture, the white was too bright, and it was kind of, I didn't like that. So what I did, I just masked all those off, and I went over with white acrylic paint, and I could see that the red was trying to show through, and I thought, okay, I like that. And that's basically all I did for those.
Right. I like that it can be, it's almost got a speckled little effect to it. Those borders aren't just bright white. To me, it looks like there's some marbling going on, with those borders, and I love it. And I know I want to go to a thrift store with them too. And it's just amazing. But I love it because it breaks you out of everything has to be in an 8x10 or everything has to be in a 20x26. I mean, and it can be, but multiple different pieces put together to create one piece, and it adds so much dimension, so many different levels. I think this is just fantastic. Oh, I love it.
I like to be able to give a three-dimensional look to these pieces that I do. Kind of jumping off the page, if you want to call it that. But yeah, those are just basically glued together and then a nail gun to secure them.
Right. A nail gun? Did you say a nail? Are they on like different kinds of level? I can see that they're lifted from each other too, that there's space. So are they on like a 2x4 or?
No, they're themselves. I can show you real quick.
Okay. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. I take that back. Yeah. Here's the back of it. Can you see that?
We can now.
Okay. See that?
Look at that.
Now when I flip it over, you'll be able to see the 2x4.
Right. Oh, the whole thing is wood. Oh, this makes it even better. Oh my gosh. I love that so much. I'm so glad you showed us because we get to see all the way around it. Not everything has to be a canvas. Look at that. Look
and
at
that. You can hang it any direction you want. I mean, you could catty corner. You could do it this way, that way. So, and that's what when I do these pieces, that's what I try for. I try for it to not just be like you make it and it hangs one way and one way only.
Mm-hmm. That's the great thing about that too. And with abstracts, if you get tired of it one way, you can go and turn it and it'll have a whole different look. But I like that you showed us. Oh my gosh. I love that you showed us. That was fantastic to see that in the 3D form up close. Wasn't that beautiful, everyone?
I'll show you this one real quick. I know we already saw it, but
no, go ahead.
See how those are stacked?
That is awesome. Yes.
And that's just the back of it. And you can see it right there.
Look at that. Oh my gosh. Art is always better in person. I swear to you. No matter what you're looking at, it's always better in person. We try with our photos, but I've even some of the greatest artists out there still say the same thing. Art is always better in person. Yep. Those were absolutely awesome, DADA. So awesome. Wow. Makes you want to get some wood, guys, and start just throwing some paint, having some fun, letting loose, make different, shapes.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah, if you like drawing animals, you can make an animal out of them. You never know.
Oh, I know. If I can do it out of boxes and construction paper, you guys can do it with all kinds of different things. Amazing. Now we're taking abstract to the skies. Look at the beauty of this. Tell us about this one.
It's another, that's when I was in that pastel phase in the last few months, first of the year. And this was the first time I attempted to use acrylic with pastels. And I didn't know what I was getting into at first. And as I was doing the water, I kind of thought, okay, got that. That looks decent. And then the rocks and what have you, it looks okay. And then when it came to the sky, I think this was a piece that I may have, trying to think, I might have gone over this piece. It was another piece before. But anyway, as I was doing this, I was trying to think how I could use, or how could I make the sky? And I just took a scraper and just went to town and just kind of I had no plan. I just, however I scraped it, that's what came up. And then another happy little accident, I had black, and I think I might have spilled something on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what can I do with that? I can't really go back over it. It's still going to keep coming through. So I made birds out of them.
So awesome. That is so awesome. I was just telling you guys, don't you love it? I know, I love it too. Just amazing. Break out the drywall scrapers, have some fun, brush it across, scrape it across, see where it goes. It doesn't have to be, a fluffy little cloud scene, but it just adds so much texture and so much movement in this piece. Just, it's amazing. And the birds, I know, adds just a little bit of wonderful in it, right? I know the texture is absolutely fantastic on this. I know.
Yeah, that red sun up there, I was like, at first I really didn't care for it. And then as I was going through with the scraper and I kind of touched the sun, I thought, well, that kind of looks okay. And then I just went over it again and I'm trying to see, and thought, I'll just leave it. I won't touch it anymore.
Right. Amazing. It turned out so good. Oh, I know. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm glad you guys love that.
My granddaughter has this one.
Does she? I bet she loves it. What is your family? We never really talked about that.
Not my granddaughter. Not my granddaughter. My daughter-in-law has this.
Okay. Yeah. What does your family think about your work?
They like it. They were surprised they had not seen. They watched the episode in February.
Did they?
Yeah, they were kind of blown away. They didn't realize that I was doing what I was doing. Now I would shoot pictures to my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter because I know they're more artsy than my sons are. So I would get responses back, oh, I love that. Oh, that's great. I love that. And it was nice for that, but they didn't realize how much I had done. And they actually watched the show and
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. There's kudos, guys. Your family, if they watch the shows, might all of a sudden go, wait a minute, you look at all the stuff you're doing. That's another great bonus for coming on the show. Thanks for the promo there. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, a little bit of luck. Tell us about this piece.
That was around St. Pat's Day. I think you had something you wanted people to do for St. Patrick's. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking of a cottage. And then I thought, maybe a leprechaun or something. And then I just kind of thought, I'll just I got online and found some old cottages and kind of used some of that. but this is more of my original, what a cottage would look like. And at first I struggled with the stone. And as I kept going, I could see that there were colors that I could use, which would really bring it out, like the purples and aquas, and some of the pinks and the orange. And then when I got to the window, it was like, how am I going to do this? And I just kept going over it and over it and over it with the green, and then a dark green, and then a black, and then a purple. And finally, you can see that it gives that weathered look of a window. And then the pot, I was looking for pots of gold to see if I could, emulate that. And I found this one pot, and I really liked it. It's that black one there that I used. And I had to transfer that from tracing paper onto the, that was really the only thing I actually use as a trace. And then the gold is so hard to do, but I kind of figured it out, where it's yellows and a little bit of orange, and then, whites, which will pick up the shadow, and just set it on the window ledge. And my story behind that would be like a leprechaun came by and blessed you with a pot of gold.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love it. I love that, underneath the ledge, I can see this like hue of purple that just highlights it so well. I think that is just really awesome. Really awesome. And the brickwork, the brickwork is fantastic. But go ahead.
I really didn't know what else I wanted to do, and I thought, well, I'll just one of the pictures had some floral in it, and I thought, well, I guess I could do that. So I put that over in the corner, just kind of bounce things out, and give you, you're looking at the window, you're looking at the pot, but then all of a sudden your eye goes towards the floral, even though you got all that brickwork going on too.
Right. Just fantastic. Just fantastic. Great job on this. Really great job. And I love that. The background, especially, because yes, those bricks, not 100%, they're not defined, but that they don't need to be. There's just these moments, right, that you can see them, and they're highlighted with the yellows and the purples and the grays. And it's just so much. And then the weather look on the green. Beautiful composition, my friend.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Now we get into some of my favorite colors. I don't know what it is, but you always light me up. But that's my favorite color. I love the classic red, white, and black combination. I just love it so much. And you are a master at that combination.
I do like red, black, and white. I mean, they're so striking. They work off of each other, and the contrast is just, even if you dilute the colors, they're still going to contrast well, and that's what I like about using that. This is cardboard on top of packing paper, and what I did was I just painted the back I painted the packing paper, and just loose handly just brushed across it and what have you, and then I did a drizzle, and I had taken some of the cardboards and cut them up and put them on there, and I really didn't like what I had done. So I went back over it with white, and then took a scraper and made the they look like buildings in a sense.
Right.
And this, I think I call this one City at Night.
Wow. And this is cardboard?
Yeah. Cardboard and packing paper. Cardboard is the city, and the packing paper is canvas.
Wow.
And now what I'll do is I'll mount that on a hardboard and then frame it.
That is phenomenal. Wow. That is phenomenal, guys. I mean, seriously, thinking out of the box. How many of you have thrown away packing paper and boxes, right? And it could be your next canvas. You know how expensive canvas is, everyone? I mean, look at how what you can create, and then you just mount it, or you could frame it if you wanted to too. I mean, it's right.
if you don't have glue, you can always use paint on the back of your cardboard and stick it to anything, and it will adhere. Now I've had to do that a couple times in some of the pieces that I had. I ran out of glue, so I just took paint and painted the back of it and pressed it on there so it would dry.
By the way, rubber cement is an awesome glue. Works fantastic with things like boxes and so forth. If you don't have a glue gun with you or whatever, rubber cement is another one of those fantastic glues out there, everyone. You guys all remember that from grade school, right? This is such a fantastic piece. And I just, you know, and again, would you ever even guess this is truly just packing paper and cardboard? No, because the piece is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I love that we are beyond the canvas with you, my friend.
Thank you.
Man, tonight, if anything, I'm going to get all of you artists to be thinking outside the box. You're going to be walking around your house with an artist eye going, hey, look, there is a dish strainer. Hey, look, there is a cardboard box. Hey, look, there is a, you know, whatever. I want you guys to be thinking, looking at objects going, how does that look artistic? What does that look like for me? Oh, that lamp, that looks like a flower. I want you to start developing that artist eye. Just fantastic, DADA.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, stress-free Saturdays. That's what I think of. I always bring out my palm trees for stress-free Saturdays. I love it. I love it. Tell us about this fantastic piece.
Well, there's a little story behind this. My son, I was over at their house probably maybe in January at the time, and they were talking that they were going to go to Hawaii, and I'm looking at them going, wow, I guess you guys can go to Hawaii. That's great. Thinking, where are you coming up with the money? But they had planned this, and I didn't know at that time, but they went to get married, and they told no one. They just told they were going to Hawaii. Right. So I get, my sister had called me and said, hey, did you know Ian and Emily got married? In Maui, and I said, what? She goes, yeah.
Surprise!
So I texted him, and he texted back, said, yeah. And they had sent pictures of their voyage, you know, on the cruise line, and I just figured that they were taking a vacation. So it was all confirmed. And then when they got back, you know, they had taken pictures while they were out there, and this is one of the pictures that they had taken. Now the trees don't represent what the picture looks like, but right. I kind of like the trees the way they are, because they're just kind of fat and stumpy. The other trees are more cylindrical. So I can't say the word. Anyway, they're taller and thinner, and they droop a little bit away from each other. And yeah, I kind of thought that would be kind of a nice picture to paint for them as a remembrance of them being married. And I put the two palm trees closer together as, you know, a union.
Right. I think you're talking about like the royal palms where they kind of bend and so forth like that.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I like this too. And it's a nice surprise because you're like, oh, you got married. Well, thanks for letting us know. Yeah. But what a great getaway.
None of the sisters or brothers knew, so it was funny.
Right. That's awesome. But they went and enjoyed it, I am sure. And I love this.
They took quite a few pictures, and I have a couple others that I might paint from. So
nice. I look forward to seeing that. You know, we got a lot more stress-free Saturdays coming. I'll tell you what. So you guys, but that's what I always think of. You know, it's like I've been craving the beach so bad lately, so I'm always dropping some kind of picture that has to do with palm trees and oceans. You know, like let's go. If I can't go in person, I want to go through our artwork, right?
There you go. Yeah.
That's right. And I love it. Yes, I know. He is such a great dad. I agree. Fantastic piece, my friend. I know. I want to go to the beach too, guys. I've been craving it for a long time. But I guess we just get to have the wonderful pleasure of going there through amazing artwork. Thank God for the Artist Corner. I'll tell you that. All right. Tell us about this one.
Well, I think you had something with animals, and I didn't really have anything except for the dog painting. So I thought, well, I'll try to do maybe a cat or something. I at that time,
Right.
and all this is freehand um, that I did. I sometimes I will do a little bit of uh, tracing paper just to get the form right, but this one's all freehand, and I had a lot of trouble with the ears on the cat, and finally got them to look the way they did. But I also use ink around the eyes, and I think that's probably the only area of ink that I actually used, or pen, should say pen. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do after I had the bust of the cat. So I thought, well, I'll just do a background and try to do a complimentary thing. And then I thought I started to do something with that's actually, to me, it's supposed to be a blanket around the cat, and it's called Kitten in a Blanket. And I just tried to make it look like a blanket, more or less.
They love blankets. Oh my gosh, I have a few, and I swear, as soon as you put down any blanket, they're either under it, they're on it, they're curled up in it. They love blankets.
Yep.
I love it. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I gave this one to my youngest granddaughter. She just turned, she'll be 2 in January 27th. Yeah.
Sweet. Sweet. I bet she loved it. Right? What'd she say, Robert?
Huh?
What did she say?
She like,
yeah.
Well, I sent the picture to my daughter and said, this is what I want to give Raya. And she showed Ryan, and she said, yeah, Raya likes it. So
yep. I love it. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic job on this one as well too. Don't we love it? And that's a good one for Saturday. A lot of you guys say Catterday. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, so that's another good one. But yeah, I try to keep the prompts unique. And that is a great one for our furry friend Love. Fantastic. And the texture, by the way, on this also fantastic. Fantastic. Oh, another one made for $250. I love it. Speaking of grandkids.
Yeah. With the way things are today, and not to get political or anything like that, I like probably most grandparents worry what the future holds for my grandkids and future kids. And I basically just wanted to give a tribute to what the children think of the flag and the Statue of Liberty as they stand there and look. The Statue of Liberty was from one picture that I got, and then the 2 kids were from another picture, but the dress I did differently, and also his pants and his shirt are different. I did those differently too, and just freehand drew the 2 kids and the Statue of Liberty, and then just went in with acrylic. The flag and the stars, let's say they are pastel, and I think the stars are also not pastel. Yeah, they're pastel. The stars are acrylic, and then the base of the monument is
right. Beautiful. That's
pastel.
what it is. Beautiful pastels.
And then the border, I kind of made it look like it was in a border, kind of like a framed, like almost like.
You're right. And it's a unique border. I mean, sometimes being inside of a border is good too. Sometimes it needs to break away. I mean, but what I love about this border is it's not one solid color. As you can see, we've got this whitish kind of beautiful hue on the bottom and a blue on the top. It really is a unique idea. I like that.
Kind of gives like a silver framing, because,
That's
you know,
right.
as you look at it in light, it would take on whatever color that's next to it.
Right. I know. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I know that you guys are enjoying that. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I had fun. I had fun doing this one. It was a little bit of a challenge, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Oh, I know. I think it's wonderful too, you guys. Thank you so much for your compliments and your comments to our wonderful artists today. That is really wonderful. I appreciate that so much. You guys, thank you so much for that. Oh, yes. We got our umbrellas. Right? You love this piece. I know you do. And it's always in a different form.
Yeah, I have taken on my phone, you can do stickers. And what I do is I'll just take that sticker and put it in whenever I do need it for a background. I can manipulate those stickers. And I like the fact that because those different positions and heights and sizes of the ladies with the umbrellas, they just stand out. And what you're looking at as a background, I didn't do that. That actually is a marble, and I blew it up. I took a picture of a marble.
Okay.
Took that picture, and then I blew that up as big as I could get it. And what you're seeing is all the colored, you know, inside reflective colors, what a marble would give off. And I took those. You just take a sticker, and you can duplicate the stickers. And that's what I did. I just put them on there, and I call that iPhone art because it could be printed.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead, Dada.
I'm sorry.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were talking about iPhone art.
Yeah, I sometimes that's how I come up with maybe a background or a color choice, thinking, okay, what would this look good if I had this? And I just kind of put them together, and I like it. Gives me a reference point, and also becomes art.
Mm-hmm. Right? And it's great for inspirations. Great for inspiration. I love that. But you use it for so much. I guess it's a version of like a digital art situation where you can put it all together and, collage your work kind of together the best way I can understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still drawn to graphic design. I mean, I always will be. But I think that, if you can just make it more powerful, or if you can make it, stand on its own in a sense to say, hey, this is unique, this is different. That's kind of what I strive for.
Very nice. Very nice. We love it. We love it. And we've seen them in so many different forms. It is absolutely fantastic. Love to see them. I know I see a lot of reactions with that as well, too. I know it does. That background looks like a wall of water. Exactly. Almost like a wave coming up. It's really unique, isn't it? Love it.
Yeah,
Talk about go ahead.
I call this take a walk on the wild side.
I love that. It's a great example about how your background can be so abstract, but your main images, the women with the umbrellas, they're very focused. They're very done, and rendered really, uniquely and well. But the back is all abstract. And that's kind of what we talked about at the beginning of the show, is it brings a lot of difference to your pieces. And it's, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I like the way it, you can take an object and you can manipulate it, and then, put it against any, background in a sense. And that's kind of what I do when I look at something. I think, well, what can I do with this? And I'll start looking at different things, and a marble popped up, and I'm thinking, what can I do with this marble? So I'll blow the marble up, and then I'll take that picture, and then I can use the stickers and to add to do whatever I want. So yeah.
That's right. That is right. What is really cool, somebody said something about your watermark. it's really, you know, it's really good to add watermarks to your images. I know that now you can have them removed. You can do it with Photoshop. Oh, Photoshop. You can do it with Photoshop, and AI probably can remove them as well too. But you can also hashtag if you want to protect your stuff, saying not used for AI, and it's supposed to tell AI that you can't change it. I'm not sure if that works. I never really try that. But it's always good to sign your work or put a watermark or something on there so that people know it belongs to you. Now, I've seen people literally steal other people's art still. It happened to me with Justice, and I've never gotten over. I don't even think I'll ever use Photoshop again because somebody did that to one of my pieces. But that's just me. But you guys, you're asking about his watermark, and that's why he's trying to protect his work. It's pretty good. You can make them as light as you want to, but they're there, right? They're there.
Yeah, I mean, I can take the watermarks off because it's just basically doing a text over the image with your phone. But I mean, the background's not me,
right?
But what I'm trying to preserve is the image of the women, the ladies with the umbrella. That's what's more important, and I can use those anywhere that I want, and I like that. So,
right. And it's awesome. Very cool. We love the space.
I'm gonna get that one probably printed here pretty soon.
Oh, nice. That would be awesome. Be awesome. Then you can sell prints, everyone. Fantastic. Oh, all right. Tell us about the empty tomb. I really love this. Good one for Sunday.
Yeah, that was for Easter, and that you requested for us to do, you know, something spiritual.
That's right.
This is, I believe this is it Nicodemus and I can't remember the other person that got Jesus's body and then prepared it. This is called preparation for resurrection.
Okay.
And this is all pastel. I don't think I have any acrylic in this.
It was Joseph and Nicodemus, but I thought this was when the tomb was empty. I thought that I was looking at Mary.
Oh, no, this is this is when they were to prepare his when he went to the king to ask for Jesus's body.
Right.
That could he have it? And the king's like, I don't care, no big deal to him. So he brought him to this tomb that is actually his tomb that Jesus was buried in, and it was basically for I believe Nicodemus's when he died, but he gave it for Christ. And I struggled quite a bit with the sun coming in and then the rock inside the tomb. And it took me a while, but yeah, this is all pastel.
Oh, so no, guys, this is not the empty tomb. My mistake if you were there. This is the preparation of the tomb for Jesus' body. This is actually with Joseph and Nicodemus. They were literally there getting the everything prepared for when they brought back Jesus's body. So this is before Jesus was crucified. I look at it too as like the empty tomb, but I was incorrect as well.
Yeah, preparation for Christ. Yeah.
Right? Amazing. Yeah. Love that. Love that. I love that it's pastels. And this is fun because you are really enjoying the pastels. And I like that it's given this beautiful softness, that light that's coming through, bouncing off all the walls and everything as well, too.
Yeah. For some reason, I guess I have a knack for stone and buildings, you know, because pastels can render so well, because you can get a hard edge and you can get a soft edge with them, and it takes a little time, but yeah, that probably took me maybe 2 days.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So we're getting a question from Salty. which are your favorite soft pastels? I think she's asking about a brand. So what? I think that's what she's asking about.
Let me see. I can go look real quick.
Okay, he's gonna go look. Nice question. Usually DADA is the one that's asking the questions, like, what size is this? What medium is this? And yeah, she's asking about the brand. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. You guys, just gives me a reminder. Please hit those buttons, those like, follow, share, and help support the shows, guys. We need to help. We need to help. We need your help. Thank you so much.
Here's the box.
Okay.
It's empty. I've got all my pastels in another container.
Turn around so we can see.
Is that backwards?
Nope. We can see it. Marte. I don't know. For us, Salty, you're going to have to let us know what you think of that brand.
Yeah, this is there you go. And of course, it's got its colors on the back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
right, there you guys go.
It's a 48-piece set.
48-piece set. Okay.
Yeah. It says soft pastels.
Soft pastels. And I'm going to ask Salty what she says about that. She's like, I don't know what she's saying, but obviously you do really, really great with them. You're turning out some amazing work. Amazing work. Weird. That did not copy.
These are the pastels that I had purchased from Amazon, and they're sticks.
Okay.
Faber-Castell.
Oh, wait. Okay, go ahead. Show us. Those look like oil pastels.
Yeah, I call them wet, I guess. I don't know. But the others are actual stick dry pastels. Mm-hmm. And these have like a wax to them.
Yeah, that's an oil pastel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I go to use these on that paper, they don't do as well as the soft. So I don't know what paper to use with these, or I would probably try these even more. But I bought a set of these. Basically, I just put them in this. Mm-hmm. But I bought a set of these, and I'm not really using them.
Well, see, oil pastel's my thing, Dada. You got to get really, really good drawing paper, number one, so it can absorb it, because it's oil, just like oil painting, and they blend differently. But I use a really good my oil pastels that I use are actually Crayola, so and I love that they're really thick, like a crayon. But I get really good black drawing paper to really make them pop up, and I'll show you. I'll put one out sometime this week so you can see what they look like. But yeah, soft pastels and oil pastels are different. One is more like a crayon, and then the soft pastels are more like a chalk.
I go back to the days when I would have art classes, and we had an art store down below, and we'd go down there and purchase our supplies. And a lot of names that I've forgotten, but I recognize if I go into an art store, like the Faber-Castells. Those are what we actually used pretty much.
Right.
So, things like that.
Right. I love me some Crayola. When it comes to certain things, guys, give me 1 second, because people are asking about this. When it comes to certain things, sometimes cheap products work really well. These are oil pastels from Crayola. They're really, really thick, and they're really, really vibrant. Mm-hmm. Just so you guys can see them. They're not very expensive, as you can tell, but they work really, really well. The most important thing about that is the paper. When it comes to that kind of stuff, it's the paper. Okay, whoops. Let me add him back. There we go. All right. And we will add his next piece on. But that's just my opinion. You guys can you can do it. All right, another wonderful abstract piece. I'll ask him, Salty. I'll ask him when he comes back.
I saw that you had that one up, so I wanted to show that also. What you're showing now, I'll show you what I did with that.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
That is
Thank you, Frosty.
is the inside. This is the inside of a package label for a tarp. And you can see the tarp right there.
Right.
And I just took that and just kind of set it to the side. Thought, oh, I wonder if I could use that for something. So I taped it together. You can see that. And this is what came out, and this is what I did. So what you're showing is this right here.
Oh, wow. Man, no surface is safe, right? That is awesome.
See?
Wow.
So
awesome.
I'll mount that, and then I'll frame that also.
That is crazy.
And that's actually plastic. That's not paper.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. This I just basically just took another scraper and just let my wrist just kind of waddle around as I'm applying it. And I like the white background, and it gives a gloss to it because it's plastic. And then I took, I don't know what I used for the red, but it was small enough that I could just do a mark in each of the lines, the black lines, and just left it at that.
Right. Amazing. Amazing. I know. I'm just grabbing this comment. I know. That's what I'm saying, guys. No, we've got another artist, and we got to get her back on here. She goes by 10 times discernment. That there's no surface. You know, you two should really hook up and talk, because she is like every couch, every wall, every dresser, every is painted, designed. It's unbelievable. And that's what I'm talking about. When you start walking around with an artist's eye, it's like, what can I turn into art? What can I turn into a canvas? What can I paint on? What can I make this wood into what shape? It is really awesome. And it just gets me so excited that he sees a back of some kind of label, and next thing you know, that's his canvas. And isn't this piece awesome?
That's actually two labels I glued, or I taped together with the masking tape. And you can't see that there's a seam because I painted over it in the middle.
It's awesome. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh. Way cool. Way amazing. I love that you guys, having so much fun. And again, thank you guys so much for your wonderful comments. Guys, that is just absolutely awesome. DADA, I love your work, my friend, so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Tell us about this piece.
There was a piece that I didn't. No. This is the back of Strathmore pastel page, the cover. It's the cover of the pad. And I ran out of Strathmore paper, so I used the back of the cover. And I did something with it. I can't remember what I did with it at first. I didn't like the painting, so I went back over it. This time I actually used, I think, mainly acrylics. There might be a little pastel in there, but mainly these are acrylics. And some of these yellow images almost look like a person. So I had a couple strokes with the yellow. And as I was looking at them, I thought, kind of look like people. So I kind of highlighted the head just a little bit more with acrylic paint to give it a head look. And then I went back in and started doing some more. And then I tried to do some with the darks, and the darks didn't come out as good as the yellows did. But you can still see some kind of representation of a figure there.
Yeah.
So, and this one's called who are they?
I love that. It almost looks like they're on different levels too, as if they're going up a stairs or an amphitheater or something, because they're on these different, levels. It's just amazing, right? Ghostly kind of, figures in some aspect, but not, because they're part of the whole abstract combination. But absolutely, that's the first thing I saw too, is like, oh, look at these figures, amazing.
Yeah, I took the scraper, and with the red areas, I would go across with the blade, directly on the page, and then I would just kind of swipe down, and then I would do that. Like, as you can see, like you said, it's a stair step. I didn't plan for that stair step. What I did plan for was just to have different areas there to apply the red paint, and then when I started putting on the darker colors and then the yellows, that's when it started to come out as it looking like people.
Right. Absolutely fantastic. You guys, abstract, one of the great things about abstract pieces too is because you can see, that's the great thing, is your eyes will make up images. It will make up, certain things that you'll see. You might see, like you said, a chessboard, or you might see people, or you might see flowers, you might see a cityscape or whatever. And it's just because abstract will let you do that, and your eyes and your brain will fill it in for you. And I just love that. That's another wonderful thing about abstract art. And everybody sees something differently.
They look as if they have a cloak, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yep. Almost a few of them to me. There's one in particular on the bottom right that almost looks like he has a staff as well. And I'm like, but that's my eyes, seeing something. Mm-hmm. And I hate to tell you guys what I see, because I want you to see your own wonderfulness when you look at this. Right? Amazing. But absolutely amazing. Like they're walking up to like a Capitol building or something, because I can see them walking up these levels of stairs. It's just so much fun. This is just a fantastic piece.
Thank you.
Gives us all an ability to see something differently. Oh, Sundays. Tomorrow is the Spirit of Sunday, artist. Just letting you know. Everybody get your Sunday stuff on. Love it. Tell us about this piece.
This one is acrylic, again, on top of there might be a little bit of the background, the blues might be pastels. I can't remember. Anyway, I tried to build up the cross and just make it look, just rough and layered, because this is kind of a layered piece of paint, especially on the cross itself. And I did the blue background and then went back over, I believe, with maybe a little a deeper purple. And then down below, I just wanted to represent the people that were there while Christ was on the cross and even after the cross. And right. This one's called They Stood.
They Stood. Can you imagine even watching that?
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I always sit there and I always think too, and no wonder everything went dark, because I'm like, how does the Father even sit there and watch this? How does God sit there and literally watch this? And that's probably why everything went dark, because he's like, yeah, I'm out. I can't watch this either, But you think about Mary, the mother of Christ, and all that, just sitting there. I mean, I can't even. A very powerful thing, and I love the colors that you put into the cross as well.
Yeah, none of these. I would say most of these paintings that you've shown are not done with brush at all. It's all manipulated with a tool of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Right. How often do you ever use a brush, DADA?
Recently, like on the cat, I used a brush on that quite a bit.
Yeah.
And to get the feather, get the fur to flay out like it was around the neck of the cat. And but most generally, I haven't bought any larger. I think I have maybe one is a half inch brush, the long acrylic brushes, and I have a set of those. But yeah, I don't really use a lot of brushes, and if I do use a brush, it's going to be in one of my bigger paintings, which I'm just slinging it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. You know, it's funny because, you know, I always use like palette knives and drywall scrapers and things like that too. And the most current piece I did of the flag was all a drywall scraper and the sponge for the stars. I didn't use a single brush on that. And it was so fun just to be able, because I was thinking, I actually kind of thought of you when I was doing that, because I was like, and the canvas is 36 by 48. So drywall, you know, scraper.
Let it rip.
I went through so much paint, because normally I paint really thin with lots of oil. Well, my oils, I'm really thin, you know, with a minimal of paint and lots of oil layers. But no, I squeezed out that tube. I grabbed that drywall scraper and voila, la, la, boom. And I was just, oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Speaking of flags, you also did this for our wonderful holiday season. Thank you very much. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this is all acrylic. All this is. Now, the burst of the fireworks, that's actually the yellows that I used and some of the reds.
Did you?
Yeah, I wanted to use those because I didn't think I was going to get a very good effect trying to hold a brush and make the strokes with a brush. So I just went ahead and used the tip corner of the wet pastels or oil, whatever you want to call them, and made the appendages off the burst of the firework. And then I went back in and dotted all those fireworks with yellow and then white on top of the yellow to give it that brighter look.
I love it.
And the flag, I kind of wanted to represent the stars on the blue side, or the dark area there at the bottom, as it's water. But I wasn't really getting it the way I wanted it, so I just kind of made it as if your eye's going to say that's a blue field for stars. And the water where the white and red, and then you can see the water showing through that on that flag. And then the city, that was kind of fun because I just took smaller brushes and just dipped them into paint and just made it dotted pretty much everything to make it look like city lights, and then a reflection of the water off the bank.
Right. Absolutely inspiring. Did you get inspired? Where did you get this kind of inspiration to do this one? Just your brain?
I just wanted to do something
nice,
different, and I didn't want to just do like a fireworks or whatever. So I just thought what it would look like if you're on the water watching fireworks go off.
Fantastic.
Yeah, just basically.
I remember those days. I mean, I've seen it when I'm an adult too, but when we're kids, I mean, I grew up and we would always go to we had a river in town, a big river, the Snake River, and we'd go in and we'd sit on the banks and we'd watch the fireworks. That's where they would let them off, and you see the reflections in the water, and there's just nothing like it. It just made it even more magical. And I've seen them in New York and I've seen them in Chicago, but when you're a kid and you're near waters, it seems like, it's twice the show. It's so beautiful. And that just took me right back to my childhood, amazing.
And I wanted to represent the sky as if, the sun was just going down pretty much, and it's starting to get dark, and then you can see the fireworks.
Amazing. I know. Just awesome. Love it so much. It was it's a great time to be celebrating. Fantastic. We love your work. All right. Thanks. This is another new one too. I'm like, wow, we're into the last few that I think most of them are all his brand new works. So tell us about this fantastic piece.
I was watching a podcast or something. There was somebody that was in Scotland, I think it was. Might have been Ireland. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. This isn't the actual picture. This is something different, but I kind of longs for me because my heritage is English, Scot, Irish. So I can just see myself, on a bridge like this or in that area, the mountains.
Right.
And so I like the reflection of what the image gave. So I went ahead and this is all pastel.
Beautiful.
There might be a little bit of acrylic, but I think it's mostly pastel.
I love that. From the softness of the mountains and the sky, the defined bridge, the reflections in the water. This piece is just so beautiful.
Yeah, it gave off a mist in the painting itself. So I wanted to reflect that, especially off the sky, the cloud in the sky, the purple.
Right. Absolutely beautiful. I know, just the colors. I know it's beautiful. I think so too.
I took lids and drew the half circles for the bridge itself. And then I just used a ruler to make almost a point so that you can see that it kind of apexes there in the middle.
That's right. I love it. I have a huge set of rulers. And so when you said that, I've got ones that bend, I've got ones that change color. But as soon as you said that, I'm like, you could take a little bended ruler and you get that nice little arch going. I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah, because I was thinking, how am I going to make this look like that bridge with the arcs and everything? And I thought, well, I'll just use maybe lids, plastic lids. And that's what I did. And I hoard those too.
And that I know. And it's like, I'm just going to give you a, for instance, like a roll of tape, right? I'm like, oh, this is the perfect circle for, you know what I mean? I'm like, always save these kind of things. Oh, that little pill lid, or oh, that little, like you said, they just work. When I have like a junk drawer of like miscellaneous things, because it works. It works.
Yeah.
And it turned out phenomenal.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Just loving it. Thank you guys so much. I agree. Just so soft, so beautiful. I can't wait to see more of this, DADA. Now this, oh man, I love this because this is 100% abstract, but your mind fills it in because you can see that there's a castle with the mountain. You see the ocean and the waves, but it's not 100% defined. And I love it. Almost impressionistic as a way, I mean, wow.
Now this is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go.
This was a Scottish castle.
Oh,
a picture of, and it was more in the color of browns and what have you. So I wanted to do something, just a three color, white, blue, and purple, or purple blue if you want to call it that.
Right.
And I think I got the waves pretty decent, as far as them splashing up against the shore and what have you. Now, if you look in this one, here's another one. I don't know if you'll see it or not, but there's a cross in the building.
Yep. It is right there, closer to the bottom, right before it gets to the mountains.
That was intentional. The other one wasn't, but that one is intentional.
Right.
So I wanted to represent, a Gaelic historical church or whatever it could be, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I know. I was born in Scotland. My actual name is Gaelic. I mean, yeah, I love it. My grandparents are Scottish. I have it through and through. Love it. And I think you did a great job as representing that, and that heritage and the Celtic and the beautifulness of this. I mean, I love this piece so much. It's one, I almost use this as your promo until we got your current piece, which is the last one we're going to be looking at here in a minute. But I was like, oh my gosh. But this one just strikes me so much because, again, I resonate with that heritage. I love that it's not 100% defined, but I can see exactly what we're talking about with the castle on the mountains and the ocean splashing up against those rocks. And I mean, and the texture on this too, and those waves are crashing. This is fantastic.
I like to take things and just kind of shove it to its, dramatic edge, or whatever you want to call it. letting that castle be as small as it is up against all that sky and water and land. So yeah.
Right. The texture adds a lot to the dramatic and a lot to the movement, I think. And it's just fantastic. Man, just fantastic. Wow.
I'm trying to catch up with Frosty.
Right.
He does great water. He does great water.
Oh, he does. And, you know, I think that, you know, first of all, we're all our own and we all have our own unique talents, and you have yours and he's got his and everyone's got that. But that's what I love so much about our group, you know, that we're not all the exact same, and that we can sit there and say, oh, I really like that piece, I'm going to try that. Or, oh, I like that part of that piece and I'm going to try that. Or I like that. I love that you're an abstract artist, because I'm telling you, Dada, it might just be me and you, you know, right? And I value that. You know, and then I look at the realism that some of our artists can do. And I think that's what just is unbelievable about our group and all my wonderful guests, is that you all bring such amazing, phenomenal talents, you know, and I think that you're outstanding, just so you know that.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're welcome. We love you, Dada. And this is our last one for tonight, but this is your current piece. And I had to throw it in because you DM me. I'm like, oh man, we got to throw this in. So tell us about this.
Now, this is the picture, took it a little bit darker and I didn't get a good exposure off of this, but it's a little bit lighter. It's the one that I sent before, which was the green and red that I think I put in there that I was working on. And then I went ahead and went back into this. And what I did is I used what you like to use a lot, tape. And I taped my lines off and then filled it in with over that piece that I had before, the greens and the reds. And I taped them off. And then I used acrylic to give us a subtle see-through as far as the color itself. And just did, you know, the yellow and the pinks and the blues and the darker blue, just to give it kind of a spatial vibe there, if you want to call it that. And then splatter painted with the white. And this is packing paper too.
Nice. Nice. I agree. Dada is the best. So unique. Such an amazing brain of creativity. Right.
What
and go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, what I like about the packing paper, it gives a texture. I mean, it kind of not like a layered, but it gives it a I guess the best word I can use, like a pillow look. That it's, you know, warped or whatever you want to call it. But I kind of like that.
Yep. I do too. As soon as you said tape, I've got tape that's real thin like this in multiple different colors. And it just made me think of that. I'm like, oh, it's you're like, yes, I love my tape. You guys, I have like 100 different varieties of tape. And so I'm just thinking of that. Have fun, you know, have fun, use them. You can take them away. You can paint them. It's just so much fun. And it's have so just amazing. The texture on this, the freedom of this is just fantastic. It looks so much fun. Like so much fun. How long does it take you to do a piece like this, Dada?
Something like that. If I'm doing a dry time on it, and with the packing paper, it dries so quick, especially with the latex paint that I use, probably a couple hours.
Nice.
At the most. And then maybe a day or two, depending on how big it is and how thick the paint is. Yeah, it would take at least a day for it to dry, but in order to do it and complete it to its before its drying stage, a couple hours maybe.
Right. Look at that.
And what I've been doing currently have been on a big bench. I haven't worked on the floor just yet because I haven't made my canvases for those. I'm in the process of getting materials. I've already bought 3 folds of canvas, and they shipped me the wrong kind. It's not a thicker millimeter or whatever you want to call it. It's a little thinner. So I went ahead and at the time I just framed a small piece to see, and I'm not real happy with it. So I'm kind of worrying whether or not whatever I do with bigger pieces with this canvas is going to do what I want it to do. So I'll probably have to stretch it tighter.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Well, this is just, and that happens. But, it's another thing, too, is you guys can order rolled canvas and make your own frames and everything. That's something I also learned in school as well. But it's awesome. Then you cut your own sizes. You can make your own unusual shape sizes, too, make them unique. Yep, absolutely awesome. All right, my friend, last words of advice or inspiration for anybody before you leave tonight?
Yeah. Before you go to bed, make sure that you have a plan for a piece of art the next day. And then the next day when you wake, let that be before God. Let that be, something that he blesses you with. And just keep producing each and every day if you can. I mean, if you can't, then, just try something different. Put a spatula or put a mixing gun or whatever in your portfolio that you can paint with, because you'll be surprised at what you get.
Exactly. I think you are phenomenal, and I'm so glad that you came on the show again. I know that in a few months we'll have you back because you're going to have a whole nother round. He creates so many pieces. Please, everybody, go give him a follow and thank him so much for being on the show. Everyone, I appreciate that. Again, please remember, please, this is going to just be the running theme for a while because I need it, right? We all need it. Please share out our artwork, everyone, as we share out yours, so that, sharing is caring and we all want to get seen. So the more eyes on our work, the better. Because, right. We want to beautify social media. So sharing is caring. And please don't forget to like and share everyone's artwork. All right, my friend. Have a great night. I'll see you in the corner. Don't forget, tomorrow is the Spirit of Sunday. So I'm excited to see what you put up there. And thank you again. It was my honor to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And hi to everyone. And I love all your works that you do. And a lot of times I get impressed by what you do. And sometimes it's like, wow, I wish I could do that. Or maybe I should try to do that. But yeah, everybody's great.
That's right. Well, I think that's the great thing about it is everybody's saying goodbye to you and good night to you, DADA. We're just throwing that up here so everyone can see that. Right? Just awesome. That's right. Sharing and caring, and everyone saying good night to you. You guys are so welcome. You're so welcome.
Good night.
Good night. All right. We'll see you soon, my friend. Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was awesome. I have a special little fun video for you guys, though. It's helping you to think outside the box, especially if it's just your backgrounds. I know a lot of you do a lot of animals and humans and things like that, but to inspire you on how to do something in your backgrounds. That's the fun thing, because you can even do realism, but yet have your background all abstract. And I'm going to so do this. This is on my list. I even bought this stuff. Here just so you guys can see. To do a background like this, I bought the fly swatters. I have all these kind of different crazy tools that she uses just to create the background. So I hope this video inspires you on maybe on some of your other pieces. Think outside the box. Go to those junkyards. Go to those dollar stores. Go to those thrift stores and just think unique. Get that artist brain on. Here we go.
D'abord, combien de temps ça te prend faire une...
Sorry. Look at this. Look at this. Just the craziest stuff. Balloons. I mean, it's so exciting to see all these different things that she's using. Scrapers. Look at that. Funnels. The end of a shoe. Look at that. Oh my gosh. A spatula. Another end of a shoe. A sandal. A strainer. A masher. A truck. A toy truck. Look at this. How a cube. A string. So cool, everyone. How awesome is this, right? Toys, stamps, candles for a birthday. Look, it's so cool. But look at the texture. It provides all the uniqueness that this can create in your ability, but yet we know what she's creating here, right? It's unbelievable. How did I miss that? There we go. Oh my gosh. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely amazing. This is to help you think outside the box. And yet she's creating something very real, very real. But how unique is this, right? Take that lion, take those monkeys, take whatever you're going to create, and add some really unique things into it. I just thought that was really awesome. And I wanted to share that with you guys to give you an inspiration of how to think outside of the box. That is so cool, right? Go out and get all these different things. I got fly swatters. I got the balloons. I've got the toy trucks. I've got the mashers. I've got, so many different things to just create all this kind of texture. And next thing you know, you can put any animal on one. Maybe I've seen it done with a flower. I've seen it done with butterflies. I've seen it done whatever. That was just so good. Giving you an idea to think outside the box if you want to. Let it try. But I always inspire my brand new artists too to do abstract. Even if it's line shapes or whatever, get out your paint. Start flinging some paint. Start playing with the paint just so you can learn the thickness or the thinness of your mediums. Learn your mediums. Nobody has to see it, but have fun. I would love to see it. But all right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed tonight. That was so much fun. We love our amazing artists. And just a reminder, if you want to be on the show, I am still booking for September. So please reach out. You can do so by giving me a follow. I just put out a post, I think it's yesterday, about Be My Guest. If you'd like to be my guest, please put your name in the comments. I would appreciate that. And please give me a follow. You can follow me on X at Lady Hamilton AR1. You can also follow me on Truth, Gabbed, Pilled, Lady Hamilton Art. Right? Tomorrow we've got a fantastic show. We're going to be talking about the Apostle John, and we'll be watching a great movie to give us, so much fun together. So make sure you guys come in and get your spirits filled as we walk through the journeys and understandings of our wonderful apostles. And then we're all just going to sit back and enjoy our wonderful fellowship with a great movie. So make sure you bring your popcorn. All right, everybody, let's give some love to my wonderful team. They are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, my wonderful Lady Hamilton art moderators. You guys are truly the best. Thank you, JJ, Tribe, Frosty, Nancy, and Hockey. I love you guys so much. Thank you for all that you do and joining us in the chats as well. We're going to be leaving tonight, actually, with one of our most amazing songs. Oh, I had it up. And I forgot the thing crashed, right, guys? It totally crashed. Give me 1 second here as I load up this amazing song, The Burning Clock, right? The Burning Clock. Oh, I love it. So I just need to find that under my history. That's terrible. Here we go. From our wonderful Artist Corner family members, right? Ma Bell and My Troubled Days. We're going to be listening to one of their new songs on album number 4, right? Part 4. Let's load it up right now. And thank you for letting us play your music. Sorry, normally I have that ready to go, but I forgot the computer crashed. All right, everybody. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Don't forget to hit those buttons, those likes, follows, shares, and support. And thank you for the cookie and the phone over there on Pilled, Frosty. We sure do appreciate that. Everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. I have the best viewers in the world. Everyone have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow for Sunday Reset. I'll be putting that promo out right after this show. And don't forget to be the light. Have a great night, everyone.
Don't you worry, she said, I'll be fine. With addiction like this, it is a steady decline. Fire the flame, burns fire. Fire they end in silence. I'm chasing ghosts now, steady but not fast. Fire the flame, burns fire. Fire the flame, burns fire. Fire the flame, burning clocks running out of time. The pain of a childhood couldn't get past. All warmed up, ready to sell.